This is TWiT.
We're going to talk about napping. I have to tell you, I'm very excited about getting this next guest on the show. As a sleep nerd myself, hearing from Nasha, Addarich Martínez, managing editor at CNET. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, pleasure to have you join us. So you had the opportunity to try out a headband that is supposed to help with sleeping. This $350 headband promises on-demand naps. Maybe you could start by telling us a little bit about it, but more importantly, kind of what made you curious about testing it, given your interests?
Yeah, so I've been working in the sleep industry for many years now. And in doing so, I've tested so many products that claim that help you sleep, right? I've tested anything from supplements to tech to wearables, you name it. And some of them work, some of them are just pure marketing. And when I heard that there's a headband that can help you sleep on demand, I was like, I really want to put this to the test to see if it works or not. But also because I got invited to nap in the middle of my workday. And I'm like, I absolutely want to go get paid to take a nap. So let's do that.
Yeah, I think I would pick up on that too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when it comes, so you said you worked in the sleep industry for years. Do you mean as like if you can talk about that? I am curious about that aspect.
Mm-hmm. So at CNET, I oversee the sleep and wellness verticals. So on sleep, we write about, and we are all sleep science certified coaches on there. So we know a lot about sleep, how to get better sleep and all of that. But we also spend a lot of time with hands-on testing with all of the products that we review. So if you go on cnet.com, you'll see that we've tested all sorts of things, all the magnesium supplements, all the melatonin supplements, all the sleepy time teas, all the bed sheets, mattresses, pillows, you name it. Anything that you can think of that's related to sleep, we've tested it all. So with that comes many, many years and experiences of just testing what's out there on the market and separating fiction from hype.
That is the most important thing. Now, you talk about with this device, it's got EEG capabilities and also uses buzzword AI. To interpret brain activity. Can you tell us in simple terms how the technology actually works?
Yeah, so basically when you are sleeping, your brain is emitting a type of frequency, right, through your brain waves. And what this headband does is that it detects those brain waves and helps offset high activity so that you can fall asleep. Basically, it's like noise canceling for your brain. So when it detects this high frequency, you feel, but you also hear like a light buzz. So it's like a very subtle buzz that you feel on your forehead, but you can also kind of feel it in your mind. It's a weird sensation. So yeah, basically that's what it does. It just helps offset that brain activity to kind of help you relax and ease your way into sleep.
Interesting. Yeah. I think many of us, especially watching the show, are going to be familiar with noise cancellation technology. So the idea of brain noise cancellation is a pretty cool concept. Can you tell us about your experience at the Crosby Street Hotel, where you actually did get to go get some sleep while getting paid? What did it feel like using the headband? And then how, because in your writing, it seems like it happened pretty quickly. In practice, did you start to really feel those effects really quickly? And then I think for our listeners, they would want to know if you as a person typically have any trouble falling asleep, or if you're one of those folks who can just sort of close their eyes and drift off.
I'm not going to lie. I fall asleep pretty quickly. So my sleep latency, which is like the amount of time it takes you to fall asleep at night, is pretty quick. Like my head hits the pillow and I'm out. But I'm not so great taking power naps during the day. So for full context, I did not have coffee a few hours before testing. This was around 2 p.m. So I did have my morning coffee. I was asked to not have any afternoon coffee, or at least like 2 to 3 hours before testing. So that happened. Also very important for context, I had Lai, who is my social media manager, with me in the room. Everyone else left, but I want you to know that it is extremely hard to try to nap when you have a coworker in your room.
Yeah.
So that really impressed me that it worked, because I had someone who was filming my entire
watching
nap
you the whole time.
Yeah, and she was hoping that I would snore so she could have a sound bite. So I was like really self-conscious about it. But yeah, so I put on the headband. We turned it on and I could feel the buzzing. So it's like rhythmic, right? So you would feel it like at a certain beat, and it was really, really fast in the beginning. And as I started to drift off, I started to feel how it got slower. So it's like a heartbeat, like say like you're running and you feel your heartbeat going really, really fast. And as you're pacing down, it starts to slow down a little bit. So that's the same way I felt the buzzing. And then next thing I knew, I was just waking up to the sound of the door opening.
Wow. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The data rather showed you that you achieved an alpha state during your nap. And so tell us about what that means in comparison to maybe what someone would expect when it comes to a nap.
Yeah. So, okay. So when you're in alpha state, it means that you're in a resting state and you're asleep, but you're kind of still aware of your surroundings. And this is what I expected for a 25-minute nap, which was not in my home and with a coworker there. So I best describe it as, when you're waking up in the morning that you're kind of still asleep, but still kind of awake. That was the feeling. So like I was very much aware of what was happening around me, but I was in a resting state. Yeah, so I only got to use it for 25 minutes. I'm really curious to see how it would perform overnight, having it on for hours and just like in the comfort of my home by myself.
Without somebody filming you, hoping you snore. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Sounds like it would probably work a little bit better in that situation.
I think so too. Yeah.
Now getting into the practical, for a device at this price point, potential buyers will want to know about comfort and usability. What was your experience actually wearing it and feeling it? And I think most importantly, because many people have different sleeping positions. I'm a side sleeper, for example. How do you think it is practical for different sleeping positions?
Yeah, so Meredith Perry, who is the co-founder of Elemind, explained to me that they did many, many studies and trials with people who have different sleeping position preferences. So lots of side sleepers, back sleepers, stomach sleepers, wanted to make sure that this headband really suits all sleeper types. I mostly did nap on my back, but I did lay down with it on my side to see if I was able to feel it. Now the headband itself is almost imperceptible. Like it is so lightweight. It's made of a stretchy, very light material. So you really can't feel the headband. I think what you feel most is the buzzing and the sensors just kind of playing on your forehead, but it's very, very subtle. If you are someone who likes white noise, I think you would find it really soothing because I found it soothing. But yeah, I don't think anyone who's a side sleeper or a stomach sleeper is going to feel uncomfortable with it.
Nice. And then lastly, I was just curious, given that you are regularly writing about this stuff and talking about this stuff, and I'm just someone who's always curious what's out there. Yeah. What is some other sleep tech that you've used this year that you've edited from other people that kind of stood out to you?
Yeah, I would say sleep masks are getting very techy in this space. So we've seen sleep masks that kind of massage your eyes, that also have sound, white noise integrated into it. That's kind of like on the lower price points. Higher price points, I would say something like the 8 Sleep Pod, which is like a sleep tracker, but also helps you cool down your bed. So it's very great for those who tend to sleep warm or hot, and then you can customize it by size. So if you sleep with a partner who isn't necessarily a hot sleeper, you can customize just your side. So it's like really, really smart sleep tech, but very pricey also. And I would say just like how smart sleep trackers are getting in general. So I have tested the Whoop and the Aura, which are not just sleep trackers or fitness trackers, but give you a lot of insight and data into your sleeping patterns. So before, let's say something like Whoop, they would just give you your data, right? So like you spent this much time in REM, you spent this much time in light sleep. But now it's coming with AI coaches. So it actually analyzes your data and it tells you like, hey, try going to sleep 30 minutes earlier tonight to see if you can spend more time in deep sleep. So it's getting very personalized very quickly.
Nice. Well, I am looking forward to this coming year in sleep tech, and I appreciate you for taking the time to join us today. If people want to follow you online to keep up with what you've got going, where is a good place for them to do that?
Yeah, at CNET.com, you can just click the sleep or wellness tabs and you'll see everything that my team and I are working on.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your year.
Thank you. You too. Happy holidays.